Alright guys, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi and this is Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of Wolves. I told you games are going to be coming in thick and fast. We have just played Manchester United yesterday but one. Literally, we have played 2 games in a space of 4 days and we're still playing more. It's going to be 3 games in a space of 6 days. So we've been affected by injuries and it is still affecting us because games are still coming in thick and fast. But let us look at and see what Mikel Arteta did talk about in this press conference. He's talked about so many things. Of course, today is transfer deadline day, so we expect a lot of transfer talk, and he was saying which kind of players would actually go out on loan, and we're saying that we could actually get a left back. Of course, he never speaks very straight, but we are gonna see what he was actually talking about and react to it in his press conference. Smash the like button, get your subscriptions in, and comments with your predictions about this game. Wolves against Arsenal, not an easy game. Of course, Wolves have been struggling a little bit. I mean, you could call them a very dangerous opponent who is off form. We rarely beat Wolves. Do we even beat them? We rarely beat Wolves. But it's going to be a very important game in this campaign. If we win it, we can even go up to 6th on the table, something we have taken so long just dreaming about in this season. So it's a very important game for us, a very important game for Wolves as well, because if they lose it, it means they will officially lose their hopes of coming into the top 6. They don't want that to happen on match day 22. So there's so many things that are really going to happen. Mikel Arteta has spoken so many things. The fitness of Kieran Tierney, Martin Odegaard, how important is Thomas Partey, is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang coming back. So many things. And of course, after this, then I'll start off with the transfer deadline stories. Of course, we're still waiting for Mikel Arteta to see whether we're going to do any business. As he says, we are going to do business, so I'll have to go down there and try to scratch all the news outlets and see what Arsenal is doing in this January transfer window deadline day. Alright, let us use the Arsenal official website today. We've been using football.london, and I really like them, by the way. I really like their journalist James Payne, Kainak, and the others. But let us use the official Arsenal website today, just for once. Let's see if we can get something good out of them. You know how disorganized and manipulating Arsenal want to be. So with hours remaining on the January transfer window, what business does Mikel Arteta expect us to do? Our manager was quizzed at length by the media on Monday morning, and this is what he told them about potential signings or departures. So most of the things we're going to see are from Mikel Arteta's press conference, and of course he was asked these questions by the media, BBC, football.london, The Sun, The Mirror, The Athletic, and Charles Watts, of course, representing goal.com. Of course, he's my favorite journalist. You know that when it comes to Arsenal matters. Let's start off with what he said about the deadline day transfers, because that is where most of your interest, and of course that's where my title is facing, I don't want to lie, on whether there could be any deadline day incoming. He said the last day of the transfer is always unpredictable, so things can happen. They might happen, they might not happen. We are on it. And of course when he says this, it really brings out the picture. We have been linked with 3 players in the last 24 hours, and they are all left backs. And we all know how crucial it is for Arsenal to get a left back. We always know how crucial it is for Arsenal to sign a backup left back. We've been linked with Patrick Van Aanholt. We've been linked with Ryan Bertrand. I think those are the most, the 2, the tight contenders for that spot. The other players are really options if we do not get any of the 2. But I think Ryan Bertrand would do. But of course, Mikel Arteta says, let us wait and see what will happen. And I'm gonna say this: if we are going to make our season better, we need to get a left back. We need to get that position covered. Otherwise, it's going to reach a time when we say, how I wish we got a left back. Things would have been better. You see, Liverpool are waking up. They're getting they're signing a defender, they're signing a centre back. They knew all along that they needed a centre back, but they were wasting a lot of time. So I don't want us to repeat the same mistakes we've been doing over the past transfer windows. You see an area of need, but then you do not cover it. If we get a left back, it's going to be a massive, a major boost in this window. On potential outgoings, he said we have decided who could leave on loan today, and we are working on it. You'll find out before 11 p.m. So obviously, I told you yesterday, if there is going to be any transfer dealings that are going out, it's going to be Martinez. It's been discussed in depth on Sky. I would implore you to go and watch that deadline day live stream on Sky. Southampton, Leicester City, those are the two clubs linked with him. I was speaking with Glenn, Everything Football, yesterday. If you watched that video, and I told you, I really don't believe we should be giving our tight contenders a player like Ainsley Martinez. I think he's way too important to give such a talent to a club like Southampton, Leicester City. These are clubs that we are in the race with these clubs, at least for top 4, at least for the top 6, spots. And you know how good Southampton are this season. You know how good Leicester City are this season. If you give them a player like Martinez, however much you want him to get playing time, I don't believe it's going to be the right decision. But anyway, go down in the comment box and tell me what you think about that. But I disagree with it. At least let him go to Wolves or to the Championship. And of course, still on Ainsley, he did say that I do not know, I cannot speak about any individual players. What we want to do, the conversations we have had, the various reasons, let's see if we can get something done tonight. Of course, the other players that could actually live on loan apart from Ainsley, Willock has been targeted as well by Newcastle. Reece Nelson has been targeted by the Championship as well. I think those are the 3 players that would actually want to leave on loan before the day ends. On whether Martinez will be a loan departure or permanent, okay, he said again, I cannot talk about any individual players, but and what our plans are for them. For now or the future. Of course, that's a brilliant answer. You don't just expose all your secrets like that, like Frank Lampard did. But what I would say is, you can't let a player like Ainsley Martinez go without a chance. He has had 5 Premier League starts this season, and he has done well. I think the only game where I thought he was not so good was against Everton. I think against Everton, I don't know why, but he was not himself. He was not actually himself. But against Southampton in the first leg, I think he did brilliantly well, and I think he was so good. I remember that time I was advocating for Cedric to start, and he played Ainsley Martinez. But you can't sell him right now on a permanent deal. We've not given him enough chances. Of course, many people are going to tell me when Hector Bellerin got injured, Ainsley Martinez should have established himself as Arsenal's starter in the right back. Yes, I do agree. But you don't give a player one chance. How many chances have Hector Bellerin taken? How many chances have players like Rob Holding taken? To become the players they are right now. So I think a permanent deal would be absolutely ridiculous. I'm absolutely against a permanent deal for Martinez. But of course, with Euros coming in, and the kind of competition is facing in the right back position in England, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, with such players, you've got to be playing football. And I agree with Mikel Arteta. He needs to go. He needs to get out there and start playing football. On how he sums up his transfer business, and he said, I can't answer that question until probably after tonight, because there are things to do and to get done. And I think if I was a journalist, trust me, I would ask this question. If I was really asking Mikel Arteta, I would ask this question. Look, just tell me, people, how do you rate our transfer window? Because for me right now, I'm rating it at a 7 out of 10. We have did remarkably good. January transfer window, not so many clubs are gonna take players from you, but we have done so well in letting players go, especially those players that we believe and we know they're not proving. They're not proving a point. They're not providing anything. It's only Squadron Mustafi, I think, that is staying, and Alex Runason. If we can get those two out of the transfer, window before it closes, Arsenal is going to have an 8 out of 10 transfer window. And trust me, I'm disappointed that at one point in time we were doing so badly. I thought on 1st January we would have a creative midfielder. On 2nd January we would have a number 8. On 3rd January we would have a right back. That's what I thought. That's what I wanted, because the club was was doing so poorly. But things have changed, and I don't want to say we do not need players. I do not want to say that I'm contented where we are. I'm not actually contented. We are very below per average. But I think, again, look at it in a way that if a club doesn't have money and if they're trying to deal away with the deadwood so that they can actually prepare for the next big transfer window, which is almost 3 months in the summer, then you've got to give them credit. I would actually think that our transfer window has not been a stinker. I'm telling you the truth. On whether he likes deadline day, of course, you're gonna be surprised. Of course, you know how to read. You can read for yourselves there, but he says, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It is what it is. At least when you know what you want to do, what you want to achieve, it is easier. Hopefully we won't have any bad surprises and we can control what we want to do. Of course, I don't expect any bad surprises. Let me tell you this. If you're going to bring in Patrick Van Aanholt on a permanent deal, let us stay without a left back, because these are going to be bad decisions. Panic buys, and I don't want panic buys. You know the problems with panic buys. Look at United. They have Edison Cavani is doing so well, but how often is he going to perform like that? How long is he going to perform like that? So I do not want panic buys. I just hate panic buys, especially on deadline day. So if we are bringing in Patrick Van Aanholt, and I'll speak that in the when I'm speaking about the deadline day transfers and how Mikel Arteta is going to deal with all those situations, we would rather do away with a player rather than bringing in Patrick Van Aanholt. But he says he doesn't like deadline day, and sometimes he does like it. On players who could leave, he said, you mentioned a few players. Some you have a better chance. The more you mention, the greater chance you have to get it right. I guess, again, we are discussing things with some players and some clubs. And if we do anything before the deadline, it is because we believe it is the right thing for their development. Now, this is almost a transcription of what he has been saying on the Arsenal official YouTube channel. So if you've watched it, you'll see that actually this is a little bit more authentic than what we get from Football.London. Because I think for Football.London, they only use their journalist, Kainak or James Beck. Here, we get a collection of questions from different journalists. So he was saying that they are still they are still talking to a couple of players and a couple of agents to see whether their players can actually stay or leave, and all that's going to be for the development and the better of the players. On whether this feels like his squad now, he says, we had some priorities we wanted to get done. We have managed to get some done. Some others haven't yet. So let's wait and see how things develop today and what we are able to do and what we aren't. Of course, I want to say, I think Arsenal is taking shape. Arsenal started taking shape, in the right direction where Mikel Arteta wants us. We have taken, the squad. If you look at the squad right now, they are the kind of players he wants to use. Almost, okay, let's say 50%. He has a Partey there. He has a Martin Odegaard there. He has an Emily Smith-Rowe there. He has Saka there. He has a Aubameyang. He has Lacazette. He has Gabriel Magalhaes. He has Rob Holding. He has Burnley. All those are his players. If you look at something like, if you look at a thing like Mohamed Elneny, you look at a midfield of Dani Ceballos, Mohamed Elneny, Squadron Mustafi, Messi, those are not his players, and he never wanted to use them at any point in time. So I think I think the squad has started looking like a Mikel Arteta squad, and because he wants to play 4-3-3, you can understand that the press, you need those quality players, and I think he has started getting them. On whether he's surprised he's surprised Edu has managed to get so many deals done. He said, "I think he's doing a great job at the club since I joined. The clarity that he showed when they came to try to convince me to join the club, and then to stick to the plan we have and the way he's going about it. I'm really, really impressed. I'm also gonna say I'm very impressed about Edu. First and foremost, we put him on a lot of pressure. Sack Mikel Arteta, sack Mikel Arteta, sack Mikel Arteta. There's a lot of pressure from the media. There's a lot of pressure from the fans, but he stuck to the plan, and I'm gonna applaud him for that. But also the way he's doing business. Let Ozil go, let Socrates go, talk to Mustafi to leave. The way he's doing business, it's remarkable. I mean, I never expected that. You remember when I told you we need to get a person like Mark Overmars? I thought Edu was not the right person for the job, but he's proving me wrong. And I think I'm on Mikel Arteta's coin side. I think he's doing a wonderful job. On whether there will be issues with numbers for Premier League and Europa League squads, and he said it will depend on what happens today. We will have to make a decision probably which we want to delay as much as possible, but it will have to be done. On whether any high-profile players will be left out like last time, because we are talking about the squad. He said hopefully not. Okay, let us look at what's the latest team news ahead of Wolves. Let us see what we have ahead of Wolves today. There is barely any let up for Premier League teams this season, with games coming in every 3 days. It's a challenge for every manager to juggle the squad. So who is fit to face Wolves on Tuesday night, and who is expected to miss out? This is what Mikel Arteta told the media. On whether Martin Odegaard is ready to start, he said, let's see today how everybody is. We have some other issues in the last few days as well. So today we will have a better picture who is available to play tomorrow. Then we'll put the players who are completely fit to start the game. On Bukayo Saka and Kieran Tierney, he said, we don't know yet if they will return. Today we have got a training session and they haven't been able to train with us. So I think it will be difficult for them. But I don't know. We are going to try till last time to see how they are feeling. So Saka and Tierney are not training today. That means we are going to miss Saka and Tierney. It's a little bit of a scary one, because we're playing a club like Wolves that has very, very, very effective wing players. Neto, Adama Traore, Podence. They have so much quality forward. Going forward, they have a lot of quality. And you think, so on Saka and Kieran Tierney, he was saying that we don't know yet, but they didn't train. And like I was saying, we have a lot of fit players, but they're not good enough to match the quality of Wolves. I think Wolves are very, 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 very scary going forward. We are lucky they do not have Raul Jimenez, because he's still out ever since he clashed with David Lowy. Maybe he's going to come back. I don't know. I don't know how fit he is. I'll try to find out. But I think Kieran Tierney would have been a key player in this game. On Alexandre Lacazette, he said we have to follow the protocols that we have set. We have to test him and make an X-ray. He was completely fine after the game. He was fine yesterday, and he has slept well. I'm expecting him to be quite available. Speaking on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he said there is still some things to clear up. Maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know. We are still doing some paperwork at the moment. He did speak about Lacazette, about Edu, and more. So here, I would say just go on and look at the Arsenal website and see how much he did cover. On how much Raul Jimenez injury has defined their season, Alkali said, "I do not know. First of all, it would be a good to ask everyone how he's feeling, because it's bad to it's a big shock for all of us when the incident happened. I don't know. We are all getting affected by injuries, by coronavirus, by other things going on. It's really difficult to play a starting 11 twice in a row. I think it's the same for every team." On whether Odegaard is ready to start, we did talk about that, and also we did talk about Bukayo Saka and Kian Tierney not being able to train. So that is basically what Mikel Arteta has talked about today. If you feel like the video is informative and you liked it, smash a like on the video, smash a like on it, and I'll speak to you in the next one. I'll come with the predicted lineup and match preview. That will be, you know, I rarely do it on the same day, but I think I'm gonna do them on the same day. Yeah. So transfers, predicted lineups, manager press conference, they're all coming on the same day. It's a lot of work for me, but you'll bear with me. We have a game tomorrow, so I've got to be so busy.